Hi guys, Taylor Cocke here for Yahoo Esports Design with Skye Chandler, who is a game producer on Overwatch, and we're going to talk a little bit about Sombra to start things off here. Specifically, bringing her into the competitive scene. For you personally, when you're looking to set it down and produce a hero like Sombra, what are you looking to bring to the competitive side of things here?
Well, I think overall as a team, we start trying to get as many prototypes of heroes going as possible. The designers will start looking at where there are holes in the gameplay, what aspect of the game is not currently covered, and we'll start seeing what fits and start designing characters with that in mind. Sombra, for instance, was a character who long ago was a knife-throwing, stealthy, agile character. She turned into Genji stole a lot of her abilities, and for a while he was this stealthing, backstab character that was just ridiculous, and everybody hated playing against him.
Still true to this day, by the way.
Yeah, I guess some things don't change. Actually, both the Shimada brothers stole a little bit of her original kit. She had a sonic dagger, so in our era. Ultimately, with Sombra, we wanted to have an infiltrator. We wanted to have an offensive character who could get behind enemy lines and do things to give more power to her team. A lot of times, stealth characters are very on their own. Mm-hmm. Like, you tend to stealth, you want to take somebody out. So for her, we wanted to increase her mobility, give her escapes, but also keep her aggressive and give her opportunities to let your team in. So things like hacking Torbjorn's turret became very valuable because that can be a thing that you just can be very frustrating. So having her take that down and your team just rolls right past it is awesome. And in a lot of really competitive gameplay, where those health packs are, your access to them, whether it's on cooldown, that really matters. Her taking that away, huge. Her speeding up your team's ability to heal, huge. And also just her ult is like, if you have good communication, you open a pathway for your team to just devastate your opponents. Like, her initiation capabilities are really high.
Yeah, I mean, we got a chance to play her for a few minutes, and she seems like it's pretty wild. I mean, like, obviously everybody downstairs is playing all hers. It's just six Sombras on six Sombras, which is fun. But
that's a little scary,
yeah, but I'm really excited to actually take her into the competitive side of things. But you said something interesting at the beginning of that statement, which was that you guys have a lot of prototypes going at any given time. How many heroes are you prototyping at any given moment?
It varies. We usually have a few. It can't be too specific because it really does change. Like, there'll be one thing that we'll start filling out and start realizing pretty quick that it's not fun, or it doesn't, or well, they do that, or something that just kind of takes away its uniqueness or entertainment value. Or it's just contribution to the gameplay in general. And so those get shelved right away. Or there's some that you just keep tweaking just a little bit just to see where they fit in the universe. And some like Anna, for instance, that was something that was one of the ones that was just kind of floating, and we knew we wanted like a higher skill cap support class. Mm-hmm. But they were kind of approaching it from like a chemical attack kind of way. And then all of a sudden, Anna's mom was gone, and she was a sniper, and because Widowmaker already existed, we didn't have a place to put her, but now we need this sniping healing class, and Anna character was like, came back to the universe from like before she was just like backstories and stuff like that, and we knew she was going to be important, but not dive full force into the game.
So there is a lot of backstory in Overwatch, and it's stuff that for those of us in the esports side of things, we rarely pay attention to because we're just like, oh no, what's OP at this exact moment. But it seems that a lot of the casual players are really into that sort of stuff. How important is it to you when you're designing a new hero to make sure that they're a part of the lore that's surrounding Overwatch?
I think it happens organically. Ultimately, the characters that we design are for the Overwatch universe. Whether or not they integrate with other characters, kind of, some are, preordained, and some like Anna she was just a backstory element that became an awesome character because there was just so much to give. But seeing how well she's been utilized, like especially in like the world. I don't know if you've been watching the yeah. Man.
As I was saying yesterday, I think I've seen every single major game of competitive Overwatch so far, except for the games at BlizzCon. We've just been crazy busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's been all over the World Cup as of late.
Yeah.
So when you're designing a new hero, especially for Ana in particular, did you realize exactly how powerful her ult was going to be, or because at first people weren't really too stoked on her, and then they're like, oh wait, if we throw this ult on Reaper, things go crazy. I mean, did you guys have an idea as to how well this was going to be going in the competitive scene?
I think a lot of times, hers for instance, yes. Just watching, we have some people in our team who are off the chart good, like, and some not everybody is though. So watching those guys play with the characters, you start seeing, like you start getting that foreshadowing of what's going to come down the road. With Sombra, she's evolved so much. Knowing how well people will utilize her and how well they'll find her counters, it has been challenging because she does have a lot of counters. So to really, really like just get your team set up with her, you have to have a very solid team, and you have to be communicating and know exactly when this is coming down and what's going on. So it's going to be really interesting to see how she gets involved in the meta and kind of what happens from there.
So something that we noticed about her is that she is really complicated. Like she's a really high skill cap hero, especially with the use of her grenade and that sort of thing. But it seems that as more heroes are coming out, they're becoming more and more complicated. Whereas some of the earlier heroes like Soldier 76 or Lucio are relatively simple to play in the grand scheme of things. Are you guys looking to make these characters more difficult to play, more high skill cap, or is it just sort of a result of trying to make something more creative and interesting?
I think it's a combination, sort of, because some of the characters that people are now saying, oh well, you just play him like you play him. Like technically, Reaper has a lot of nuance that people are just so familiar with now that it doesn't seem off the wall. But there definitely is a place of as we learn and grow, our heroes kind of expand and are able to fit into more areas. Sombra, for instance, she can be technically more difficult in some ways, but you can not understand that and still have fun with her, just tossing your thing and running in and stealthing, and the invisibility giving you a speed boost instead of a slow is actually really interesting, because you'll watch people use it as a stealth character, or you'll see them use it as a mode of transportation.
I didn't even notice that it was a spell buff on that, or a speed buff on that. I didn't never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, so there are a lot of little details that all of our heroes have, and hopefully we can keep finding more ways to fill gaps in the roster, and I mean, the hope is always that this next one that you make, all the pros are gonna like jump on it and be like, yeah, this is awesome. But there are some that maybe they aren't going to be as valuable all the time. But we also want to make sure that we have a game that people do want to swap characters a lot, because that is such an interesting part of the gameplay. But yeah.
Are there any roles that you guys are looking to fill right at this exact second? Hint, hint.
Maybe.
All right, Skye, thank you so much for talking to us today. For everyone else, I'm Taylor Cocke for Yahoo Esports.